Hey, this is an early morning stream. I said I'll get my first one out of the way because I want to get to the movie. So we're going to continue this, but because we got to finish it. But it's like 3 hours and 31 minutes, so we got to get through each piece.
Be like Cam Higbee,
Issa,
who sucked him off in his back office.
What are your thoughts, Issa?
So you see, I'm in shock by the things that I'm hearing. Like my face says it all.
You're right. There isn't Jordanian military, but there is a Jordanian officer that's there to check if people are Muslim or not. And the Israeli officials do check and see if Muslims are coming to Al-Aqsa. So you don't think that there's like a kind of a preservation at the space for Muslims to enter the site?
It's like damage control, right? As they build the nukes, as they deal with all this PR disaster nightmare.
So I can actually give you a real life example of it. So Junior just asked me what happened when I went to Israel. So when I went to Israel, I went on the Temple Mount to take a little
We
tour.
know what happened. We just
Tommy
saw
Robinson,
a demonstration. I just showed
Tommy
you
Robinson and other people. So I went to the Temple Mount.
Let me bring the monkey guy.
We went to the Temple Mount. We went onto the holy sacred side where Jews are, which Jews revere in very holy ways, where they don't actually take any steps because it is too holy for anyone to make steps on there, right? I went on there. I put up my camera. As soon as I put up my camera, people from the Jordanian Waqf, whom Israel authorized to actually have control over the place, came over to me and said, "Hey, no filming, no filming. Are you Muslim? Are you Muslim? No filming." I was like, what do you mean no filming? There's no such rule, man. I can just film here. Like, no Muslim, only Muslim, only Muslims, only Muslims. Subscribe to only Muslims. So they said only Muslims can film. So we had a big argument, and eventually some security guy from the Jordanian Waqf, who is appointed by Israel as authority over who can and cannot approach the Golden Dome and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, forced me to go away and to dismantle my camera and to walk away. So Junior here says that Israel can do whatever they want. They threaten the world. However, what Israel actually does is, despite their own Jewish population so badly wanting to be on the Temple Mount, they give control over the Temple Mount to Jordan, which says only Muslim, only Muslims, only Muslim. If you're not Muslim, go away. If you're not Muslim, go away. How in the world does it even make sense, man? With what logic does that even make sense? I swear, I don't want to insult you, but this is just so ridiculously stupid, you know?
Oh boy, there's the Canadian money. Yeah, bitch, I'm so sorry about that. You see the Canadian money over here. Yeah, I needed to stop there for a second. I 100% agree with what AP is saying. I saw that myself. I don't like it personally. I think Mashal al-Aqsa and the Dome of the Rock, the golden dome, should be accessible to everyone. That's my personal perspective. I don't think holy sites should be limited. There's a place called the Garmin Tomb where some believe that that's where the big JC was buried. That's open to everyone. Doesn't matter what religion you are. The Kotel, it's pretty accessible, which is the Western Wall. Primarily, like, Jewish people go down there to pray, but I've seen Muslim people there. I've seen other people come and visit, so it's not completely limited. I think the grave of the matriarch, really Jewish people can go there, Rachel or Rachel. But I think all of these places should be open because they're holy sites, and people should have the right, if you respect the site. Of course, knowing the rules and stuff is important, but I don't know. I don't like this exclusion stuff. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's good. Oh, hey. We can go back to that. I will show that one more time. Oh, you're so sweet, Robin. I appreciate you for saying that. I never promote myself about that, but if you want to do that, thank you very much. Let's go to the monkey thing because it is spectacular. This scene is just it's of legends.
So you're right. There isn't.
Sorry.
Look, Jordan
Junior is
destroyed
a performer.
So
the temple, the Golden Dome. Can you give me the evidence instead of just talking about what they want to do and what they believe and all that?
and I wanted to add one thing. So if Israel's goal was to destroy Al-Aqsa, the Masjid Al-Aqsa, then why would it, after 1967, work with Jordan and allow Jordan to have a waqf over the land? Why would it allow for the situation, being that this is like the holiest site for Jewish people, to kind of give up that space of being able to even visit the site, where only Muslims can enter the site at most times? That seems like
like, even if you're an atheist, you should be able to go. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, gatekeeping is it's like literal gatekeeping. Like, you're gatekeeping people. I'm going to tell you a story about me. I went to try to go to, yeah, he is, I believe so. He is. He's trying to get into get the Orthodox baptism. But there's still some more procedure for that. But I went to Masjid al-Aqsa, and I could only get in twice. I tried to go 4 times. They would not let me in. They were like, they're like, you're not a Muslim. I didn't say anything. I just had a robe on. And then one time the guy took my passport. He's like, he looked at my name. He's like, you're not a Muslim. Get out. I was like, wow. So they didn't let me in twice. 2 times I got in, 2 times I couldn't get in. So I got to see the Dome of the Rock. I get to sit in there, and I got to go to Masjid al-Aqsa and twice. I don't know. I just didn't like the vibe. I went to the Garden Tomb also, and I could go in multiple times. There was no barrier to getting in. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not for that. I'm not for gatekeeping. I don't like it. Even if it's prayer time, why can't like a Christian or Jewish person or an atheist be able to sit and just get the experience of hearing what a Jumu'ah prayer is? Like, why should they be excluded? My name is pretty it's pretty Arabic, you know. It was weird. I was like, I was surprised that the person didn't let me in, but I was like, okay, that's fine. They didn't determine anything. They just looked at me and said, go. Like, they told me to leave. It didn't matter. Like, I couldn't make a case or anything. It was just like completely selective of who they thought was or wasn't a Muslim. They have no real standard. I just wanted the experience of being there. It's not about being Muslim or not Muslim. And I think Jewish people should have a right. I mean, I'm Jewish too, so I think everybody should have a right to be there. It's a very beautiful place. It's nice to meditate, to just sit there and just meditate. Like, I was right there in the Dome of the Rock, and it's a beautiful place. And this is a hot take. I think everybody should be able to go to Mecca and Medina too. I don't think it should just be Muslims. I think everyone should have a right to come. I know it's super weird. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just like a modern American and I don't understand these things. I don't understand why people should gatekeep. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't logically rationalize it, and I think it's ridiculous. Maybe, but like, why would that happen though? If you normalize like people being able to come in, why would there be violence? It's because it's not normalized, and it's because people don't feel welcome that they do react that way. So it's not good. It's not a good vibe, man. And I'm like, even the Israeli soldiers, why can't they go in? Like, it's amazing. I'm just thinking about it from their point of view. Being Jewish and standing outside, they're not even allowed to go to the Masjid al-Aqsa and the Dome of the Rock. I totally get that there are tensions, and that's why you need to work on normalization and getting people to be integrated with each other, like Jews, Muslims, Christians, Druze, Baha'i, atheists, everybody. They should be able to like walk around and it just be normalized. It shouldn't be this weird kind of stuff. Like without Judaism and Christianity. Yeah, I know that's a very valid point. It's like, and this is a weird thing. I don't understand these Muslim apologists. Like, they seem to try, and you'll see this in the debate. they kind of try to erase Christianity and Judaism, and they try to see them as like these aberrant things that are not real. It doesn't make sense to me. So, so it's a tough situation, and I don't understand. Like, the thing is, like, saying Hebrew prophets are not Hebrew and they're like Muslims. I don't get the argument. And then they're like, but Jews and Christians exist. I'm like, it can't be the one or the other. It's either they're all Muslims or there are distinguishments. And I think even if you take like a very literalistic authory Salafi position of Islam, you have to say that God created Jews and Christians and Muslims and different kinds of groups. It makes no sense that you would hold and say this group is, that the prophet is a Muslim, but the community is not Muslim. It just sounds like ludicrous, mad lunatic ravings. It's not logical, and I don't understand it. Look at the people here in a nation with freedom of religion, and at the people calling to ban us. Yeah, I think that's weird. I'm a hardcore libertarian. Like, I'm a very big into free speech. I think all speech should be open. I think people can be Muslim, Christian, and Jewish, or Druze, atheist, Baha'i, Hindu, whatever religion you want. They should all be welcome. But I also believe in social contract theory. Our rights end when another person's rights begin. And that's super important. And if they're all Muslim, it would make Jews and Christians. I know, it's such a strange thing. I don't understand it. I don't understand the logic. Yeah, and I think, Robin, there is fear-mongering, and it's just ridiculous. I don't think we should ban anything. But I don't think people should impose their will either. I think that that's wrong, too. If you're a Muslim, just, be like everybody else, and just be like... And that's the kind of Islamic stuff I understand. I don't understand this online Islam stuff. Like, it looks like a body snatcher to me. Like, if you've ever watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers, it's like these alien pod people come, and they take over like real human beings, and they look like the human being, but they're like an alien. That's kind of what I think about when I see these like online Muslims. I'm like, yeah, you kind of look similar to the kind of stuff I've seen, but you're like a pod person, like all the essence and stuff that's actually can be good is like gone and divorced from your situation. And, you're just like a mindless automaton, it's weird. It's a really weird vibe that I get,
Really huge thing to do. If Jews really wanted to destroy Al-Aqsa, why even have this agreement with Jordan? I think this is an important question to consider.
Good point.
Look, when you have nukes, it's easy to make everyone agree with you, right? Because you just threaten to nuke them. And that's what Israel's doing behind closed doors.
How does it make sense in response to the question that he said?
You don't know that Israel has a Samson army into diplomacy and all this while they secretly built 80 nukes. 80 nukes.
So Israel can do whatever they want. However, they decided to give control over the Temple Mount to Jordan.
Oh, here it
is. The day you put it in your mouth and make
mosque, or specifically the Golden Dome, should exist. However, actually openly in Temple Mount, you're not allowed to go on the Temple Mount. Muslims for 1,000 years did not allow Jews and Christians to go on the Temple Mount. It's Israel that forced them to actually allow people of different faiths to once again go on there. And right now, Jews and Christians are forbidden from praying on the Temple Mount. Only Muslims are allowed to pray there. So Muslims have this exclusion.
I agree with AP, and I'm against it. I'm against banning people from these locations. So, yeah, I think it's ridiculous. Yeah, free will. Yeah, I know. I wish more people were like that. Oh, yeah. Sow a seed today. There was this guy named Peter Murdoch. He's the most hilarious guy. I've seen a lot of those scams on TV. they're like, bibbidi bobbidi boo, abracadabra, alakazam. If you send $1 right now and sow a seed, I'll give you some holy water. And then you send the holy water back with $20. You use the holy water and bless the $5. Put the $5 in a mail and send it back to me. And then I'm going to ask you for more money. It's so crazy. And then this guy, Peter Murdoch, he's like, sow a seed today. $1,000 you need to sow. I have this 16-year-old girl. I bought her a car. I bought her a house. I sow the seed today for the 16-year-old girl. And I'm like, dude, are you like admitting that you're grooming this girl? Like, you're publicly admitting to this? And they don't care. They're just like, yes, we have to sow a seed. All your credit card debt will vanish. So give me $1 million and all your credit card will vanish. Instead of actually taking the money and paying your credit cards, they said, go and give me money. Oh my God. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, it's just tap water. They're like, it came from the holy lakes of Jerusalem. Yerushalayim. We took the water from Yerushalayim and we're going to give it to you. They just tap water. They find it. It's straight from China. Give me $350. Give me all the money I got. Yeah, I mean, but the thing that it's like crazy is this guy's openly admitting that he's grooming a 16-year-old girl online, and he doesn't care because he knows nothing's gonna happen to him. Oh my God! Sow a seed today.
System, but then they always accuse the Jews and the Israelis and the Zionists of having the very exact same mindset that they have. Jvnior says that they want to bring about the Messiah. The majority of Jews, when asked in a recent poll, don't really necessarily believe in the end time things and don't really expect a Messiah. So whatever, man.
Time, we'll kick it back over.
This is you going to Israel. And this is Netanyahu giving you a $7,000 check. He opened the banana for you.
Okay, Jvnior, let's keep this debate formal.
Put it in your mouth. You understand? Okay. This is your Israel trip summary right here. You put it in your mouth and make sure you're eating.
You see this, right? This is how it always goes. The pro-Palestine side and the Palestine side, when faced with any kind of correction or information, they choose to instead not listen and to become children and then to blow themselves up as children.
I wasn't becoming a children. I didn't do that crap, okay?
Well, you're not a Palestinian.
In all fairness, okay? But one of my main arguments...
Did you see James? James was like, oh my God. He's like, I cannot believe this is happening on my show. Yeah, I know, this is so weird. The Dawa guys always ask for money. They're like, brother and sister in Islam, ya akhi, ya ukhti, a'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim, bismillah ar-rahman ar-rahim. Brothers and sisters in Islam, you need to give money for the masjid. We are trying to build a masjid in this place. We're not actually doing charity. We're not actually helping poor people, but we're going to build this masjid. Give the money for the sake of Allah. Fi sabilillah. Wa rasulihi. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. And you're just like, are you serious? Like, this is the Muslim grift is just like the Christian grift and those people, those evangelists. It's the same grift. They have different accents, obviously, you know. The one has the Muslim lantern accent. I want to tell you that we believe that we're going to push Islam here. I was like, oh my God, this is like, oh. Oh, the battle of all the accents all together. It's wild. I'd actually love to see like a southern like Muslim preacher come and say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You need to believe in the deen and Sirat al-Mustaqim, and you got to keep it clean. You know, I'm trying to get myself a 10-gallon hat. And I'm going to put Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim all around it. That would actually be pretty funny. I would love that. Yeah, that's a debate argument. It's so bad. Yes, we have to show the monkey. Yeah, James is like, I cannot believe my man just did that. Oh, yeah, you're right. All the prayer mats come straight from China. Like, none of these people actually went to school. Like, none of these people actually have, like, a real profession. They're like, the Muslim Thais, like, what is his name? Hamza's Den or John Fontaine? They go and they have their little bazaar, and they're like, well, I'm selling body oils here. We've got some body oils here. We've got some kuthis and domes. And none of them are actually, you know, handmade. They're all made, they're just made in China, and we're importing it in here and, you know, selling very cheap Chinese things. But, you know, Bismillah will skyrocket the prices. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Oh my God. What about a Trump Quran? You said Trump Quran? Oh, yeah, a Trump Quran. Wouldn't that be funny? They have a Trump Quran. Got Trump Bible and the Trump Quran. Oh my God, Muslim cowboy would do that, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that Southern charm. You know what I mean? I love to hear a nice, you know, Southern Muslim da'i teaching about the deen. Well, I really want to hear that. Oh yeah, Central Dial. Oh my God, he has like the worst accent of all time. He's like, I want you to know that you can buy my course for $20. You can buy my course on learning how to defeat Christianity. You can beat Christianity if you buy my $20 course that's all ChatGPT AI information. Buy this course. Even though my whole religion is based on Judaism and Christianity, you can defeat Judaism and Christianity with my course. I'll show you some verses that show that these things are contradicting, even though if I say these things are contradicting, my own Quran is contradicting. That doesn't really matter because I'm a shill and I'm a grifter. I don't actually care about Islam at all. I just care about grifting and making money. It's such a grift. There's so much grifting. Like when he said he charge you $20 to buy his course for to defeat Christianity. And I'm like, if you're a Christian, none of these cases actually persuade any Christian. I'm sorry. Like I've listened to all these cases these Muslim da'is do. I mean, I think they're trying to impress Muslims who are trying to be sturdy in their kind of conservative approach of Islam. I don't think if I was taking like, I don't know, like a conservative, let's say Protestant Christian position, and I heard the arguments that these da'is brought, I would be laughing my butt off. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you joking? Like, do you really think I'm going to buy what you're selling? Oh, yeah, they sure do. But it's so funny to see what kind of scams they pull up. Oh, yeah, like here's another Muslim scam from the South Asian accent. Muslim scam, you can give, I will do halal banking, alhamdulillah, no riba, no interest. You invest in my Islamic compound full of Muslim South Asian. You invest in the compound, you give 1,000 crore, you give 1 crore here, you can buy this apartment, and you can get this apartment, and everything riba free, interest free. We do lots of tricks to make this work, but you know what? We're actually just going to steal your money. We're not going to actually help you. We're going to steal your money. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. It's so unbelievable, the crooks that we can see. I should do a show just mocking these crooks that are stealing people's money. Oh my God.
So I wanted to ask a question about that.
Can you give me evidence that Israel actually wanted to destroy the Golden Dome?
Yes, because they wanted to weaken it from the bottom for it to destroy itself naturally. And also, when the Muslims ask for the renovation of that mosque because it's getting old, they refuse it on repeat. So they
That is a Hamas conspiracy theory. What
it's
Israel
not a
is
conspiracy
actually
theory, it's a fact. It comes from the
what
times of
Israel.
And you know what Masjid
Yeah.
is?
What-
You know what Masjid we're talking about? This isn't Masjid. It's not Masjid al-Aqsa. It's Masjid al-Aqsa. He's going to tell us about Masjid al-Aqsa. Masjid al-Aqsa. He's talking about Masjid al-Aqsa now.
What Israel is actually doing there is that they are doing archaeology, and I've actually been under the acute fight. Where do you
We're watching this agreement.
When you have nukes, it's easy to make everyone agree with you, right? Because, all right, Israel has
so they can do whatever they want without any fear.
Israel literally tricked all the Arabs, okay, into diplomacy and all this while they secretly built 80 nukes. 80 nukes.
So
And
Israel
the day
can do
that-
whatever they want. However, they decided to give control over
The
Temple
day-
Mount to Jordan. Okay,
The
right.
day,
That's
what
Makes
control?
complete sense.
What control? Is Jordanian military there?
Masjid al-Aqsa.
Go ahead, leave, so I can actually have a conversation with a actual human being, not a monkey who went to Israel and got fed bananas by Netanyahu. If you're gonna eat bananas from Netanyahu, at least enjoy it. At least convert to Judaism. At least suck his dick. Be like Cam Higby.
You see my face? I cannot believe what I just heard.
Issa, any
Who sucked him
thoughts?
off in his back office?
What are your
So
thoughts, Issa?
So it's you're right. There isn't Jordanian military, but there is a Jordanian officer that's there to check if people are Muslim or not. And the Israeli officials do check and see if Muslims are coming to Al-Aqsa. So you don't think that there's like a kind of a preservation at this space for Muslims to
Bro,
enter the site?
it's like damage control, right? As they build the nukes, as they deal with all this PR disaster nightmare.
So I can actually give you a real life example of it. So Junior just asked me what happened when I went to Israel. So when I went to Israel, I went on the Temple Mount to take a little
We
tour
know what happened.
with-
We
with
just
Tommy
saw
Robinson.
a demonstration. I just
with
showed
Tommy
you.
Robinson.
Oh my God, he's talking about the demonstration of the monkey with the banana. Yeah, people being deceptive is just wild. You're silly. I've seen some of his videos. I don't know. It's like science stuff, which is cool. I'm more interested in like politics and sociology and philosophy and religion and music. I like that kind of stuff. I'm not really necessarily big into like the science content stuff. I mean, I probably watch something like a crash course. I'm kind of, if I'm interested in learning about something, I would watch like they have the political one and then they have the scientific one. So scientific and math one. So probably would watch like a crash course from the Green Brothers. I don't know. Was it about religion? I'm not sure. I mean, he is legendary. Like, he's really funny. Like, Junior is actually very entertaining and funny. He gets a lot of funny points.
and other people. So I went to the Temple Mount.
Let me bring the
We
monkey back.
We went to the Temple Mount. We went onto the holy sacred side where Jews are, which Jews revere in very holy ways, where they don't actually take any steps because it is too holy for anyone to make steps on there, right? I went on there. I put up my camera. As soon as I put up my camera, people from the Jordanian Waqf, whom Israel authorized to actually have control over the place, came over to me and said, "Hey, no filming, no filming. Are you Muslim? Are you Muslim? No filming." I was like, what do you mean no filming? There's no such rule, man. I can just film here. Like, no Muslim, only Muslim, only Muslims, only Muslims. Subscribe to only Muslims. So they said only Muslims can film. So we had a big argument, and eventually some security.
It's so funny. It's round 2 of the monkey. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, send it to me. What was it about? I'd be interested in knowing. He is hilarious. I actually spent time with him. We spent time at the debate con. He was a cool guy. I mean, I think we probably agree on a lot of things. I think he's a lot more conservative than I am, which is difficult. We saw the Daniel Hakikachu debate where he was debating these like Orthodox Christians, and they were talking about their kind of horrific hellscape world. I was like, yeah, I'm not really too interested in that. Yeah, I can't actually show this stuff because there's a lot of cursing in here. Oof. Is there a curse in there? Okay. No, no one wants to mute you. It's a little bit strange. Well, thank you for joining. But, you could talk about what we're actually discussing here. That would be interesting. Yeah, that's right. We use Christian language here. We have holy language here, so we don't use that type of language. Oh my gosh, you're so silly. Whew, I can't actually show it because there's another curse word in there. Oh, if you don't put curse words in your comments, I can show them. Please don't put curse words there.
Security guy from the Jordanian Waqf, who is appointed by Israel as authority over who can and cannot approach the Golden Dome and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, forced me to go away and to dismantle my camera and to walk away. So Jvnior here says that Israel can do whatever they want. They threaten the world. However, what Israel actually does is, despite their own Jewish population so badly wanting to be on the Temple Mount, they give control over the Temple Mount to Jordan, which says only Muslim, only Muslims, only Muslim. If you're not Muslim, go away. If you're not Muslim, go away. How in the world does it even make sense, man? With what logic does it even make sense? I swear. I don't want to insult you, but this is just so ridiculously stupid, This is not a serious conversation in any way.
This is if you guys, well, why don't we jump into the Q&A? This has been
Let's do it.
Yeah, bitcha. There's the Canadian money. We love Canadian money here. I'm so sorry about that.
interesting conversation, to say the least. Got a couple of
arguments after the Q&A.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry about that. There are 5-minute closings. So
ooh, this is my favorite part. I get to do my closing. Yes, this is a fan person who likes to post. Her name is Holly. Yeah, she's just having a good time. She's releasing her kind of bad vibes. So,
I want to, as we started with Jvnior and Julian and Jvnior stuffed
Issa.
animal, we will go to their closing. You have 5
Yeah,
minutes
AP is
between
such
the
a
three
good
of
buddy.
you.
He lets me have the
The
closing.
floor is all yours.
I wish I had more time.
Okay, so I actually want to share another presentation that I had.
Oh, well, let me remember though, wasn't it? But we started with Julian and Jvnior. So usually we just keep the order. If you guys really want to swap the order, we can. But
oh no, it's fine. They can go first. That's
okay.
Cool.
Go ahead, Julian or Jvnior.
It's fine. It's a beer and Ridvan Admir. It's fine. You guys could go first. We went first, so you guys could go first.
That's very kind of you, Julian. Thank you.
Yes, although you have me blocked, it's funny. Okay, I'm letting you go first.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Okay, just give me a second. Just want to pull this up because I think this is a good closing right here. All right. Okay. Let me share the screen.
He always does this. This is very normal. I have to remind about the closing.
So I had actually another presentation too for talking more about Hamas, but I think this is a good closer right here.
I think this is a good closing argument.
All right, Israel versus
be my
Hamas,
opening.
governance rights and human development. So this is an important.
These are all the pictures I took while I was over there in the Middle East. So you're getting to see great pictures. Julian was pretty funny in this debate. He was just there for vibes.
Side by side to looking at what Israel does as a government versus what Hamas does as a government. Because the point is, we hear Hamas as being called a resistance movement. Hamas is also claiming that it's a government movement. This is something that we've stated in the beginning, and it continues now. It ran for an election. It is a political party. So it has a job to do. So now we have to see how it stacks up and is compared to Israel. All right.
Oof. Don't know why that went.
So we're going to do an analytical comparison between the governing systems of Israel and Hamas, and focusing on the areas of governance such as healthcare systems, mental health provisions, and democratic practices, minority rights, freedom of speech, and advancements in environmental technology, as well as technology overall. Most of the technology that we have around the globe comes from Israel. It doesn't come from Hamas. So that's a very important distinction. A lot of our stuff that's in our cell phones, a lot of this stuff comes from Israel. So Hamas's job as a government has not really been able to kind of do that. So we're going to do a clean distinguishment between Israel and Hamas, and highlighting the implications if they're both were to govern Israel or Palestine, however, if Hamas was successful and created the Palestinian state, what that would look like. So Israel is a sovereign nation state that was established in 1948. It has a parliamentary democracy, and it's characterized by the rule of law and independent judiciary. The country conducts regular elections, embraces multiple political parties, as well as different ethnic political parties. So there's Arab political parties, Palestinian political parties that exist within Israel. I'm not sure that would actually happen in a Hamas government. So I think that's important to consider. What's Hamas? It was founded in 1987. It is governed in Gaza Strip through 2007 until now. It's had one election. That doesn't seem very democratic. This is something that was going to be discussed before, but Hamas has 3 branches. So its military branch is Izzadin al-Qassam brigades, and it's done a lot of problematic elements. So putting them side by side, Israel is a democratic framework. Hamas is an authoritarian regime. Israel's healthcare system has a...
Yeah, let's be respectful in the chat. Please note this cursing. It's too much. It's very bad words. We don't like these words here. There is a mentioning of that. That's correct.
Universal healthcare system for its citizens that ensures access to advanced hospitals and emergency care. There are places like Yad Sarah, which gives, access to medical equipment for free for the citizens of Israel.
And I learned all of this stuff because I went on a birthright volunteer trip to Israel. I saw all of this stuff firsthand. So all of this is true that I'm showcasing.
Hamas's healthcare system, well, it's really lacking. It's really been focusing on military might and not really the rights for the...
I love that. I was just like, what am I going to say? You've got Israel, there's a medical care system. What does Hamas have? Absolutely nothing. There's really nothing. Building tunnels? That's what it's good at. Building healthcare systems that help take care of the people? No, doesn't exist.
People. And I think that's the biggest key. If you are the governing body of Palestine, then you've got to serve your people. You have to serve the Palestinian people, and that's not really been done. Israel has a comprehensive mental health care system, and it's a part of its public health system. It provides...
I think this picture says it all. Look at the right. This is what we get from Hamas. This is what Hamas gives us. Suffering, devastation, poverty. That's what Hamas gives. Look at Israel. It looks beautiful and nice. Hamas gives us poverty and devastation. So,
It's PTSD treatment for civilians and soldiers. It has school-based counseling, crisis hotlines, suicide prevention programs. Hamas has no established element of mental health framework, and the trauma among the population remains largely unaddressed. And the psychological distress is often politicized or ignored. This is deeply problematic. Israel has a commitment to minority rights. If we look at Al-Quds or Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, you see many different quarters there. You have many different, and I think this is a key point. There's many Palestinian citizens of Israel that live there. It may not be perfect, as many nation states are not perfect in their rights. But there are, I believe, that if Hamas had absolute control, you wouldn't have minority rights for Jewish people in that system that exists. Perhaps in the PLO, but I don't think that would exist under a Hamas regime. Hamas has repressive policies on minorities and does not have legal protections for the minorities. Religious dissent is often met with punishment. So think about smoking, think about having music that's not Islamic music. All of these things will be punished. This is deeply problematic.
And time.
You said end time.
We will jump into the 5-minute closing from. Oh, you said interesting. Let me fix this.
Julian, let me just.
So I had to try to show my whole presentation super fast because I'm like, I got to show about all these things. I'm like, I need more than 5 minutes. I need like 10 minutes to get through everything that I want to. I mean, I'm like, I will get this through 7 minutes, but let me just talk more about this because there's so much stuff that this is like really the heart of this situation, of this compare and contrast, but it's hard. It was hard. I know, you know what? I actually want to comment on this. My dear sweetheart, you wouldn't have the technology that you're doing with right now. The way that you're texting with your community, it comes from Israel. Like all of our technology stuff, it's coming from Israel. So if you think it's garbage, you wouldn't be able to communicate online because your cell phone, your computers, all of these chips, guess what? They're coming from Israel. Baruch Hashem. I know. Hamas they were devastating. And it's just so hard when I hear people say, Hamas is resistance. I'm like, Hamas is terror. Hamas is horrible. Like, it's not just bad for Jews, it's bad for Palestinians, you know? So, you know, it's crazy. Oh, boy. Ooh, it's so hard to just try to find good comments here. I can't post everything here. I'm sorry, Robin. This is ridiculous. Oh, boy. Just ignore this stuff here. It's just, if you just ignore it, it will go away. Okay, what was saying here? Yeah, funny. Whew, boy.
Pull up the presentation here because honestly, like this was a bunch of nonsense from Issa's part, if I'm being honest. And
well, hey, chat. What did I say? Was it nonsense? Let me put a poll. Was what I said nonsense? Here, let me put the chat up here. Oof, where is it? Media assets. Maybe it's under widgets. Okay. So you put, let's see. So you put 1 or 2. Was my argument nonsense, according like what Jvnior said? Put 1, yes, that was nonsense. 2, not so much. Yeah, it's really it's a little too much. appreciate that. We're a free speech place here. Unfortunately, I have to do that. Just have to ignore all of these things here. Just don't pay attention. Yep. Yeah, I think that's fair. Therapy is needed. We can offer therapy. We're a positive place here, so let's offer positive vibes to the not so cool energy. Okay.
I'm trying to be kind here. I'm trying to be as kind.
Issa is literally the coolest guy, man. Have some respect.
I love Asa, but I'm just trying to say that
I love how he said my name with the Arabic. He said Issa. That's how you pronounce my name, actually, because there's an ayin in my name. It's spelled ayin, yeah, sin, yeah. So that's Issa. So yeah, he got that perfect lugat al-arabiyya in there.
you bringing up the mental health situation in Israel is not a good thing. Okay, 76 confirmed suicides in the IDF, 2,100 attempted suicides according to Rabbi Shmuley. Okay, these are the people who tried to commit suicide because of what they did in Gaza. So it doesn't matter what infrastructure for mental health they have in Israel. The IDF soldiers are killing themselves. Hamas, 0 suicides. 0. Zilch. Okay? The honest and truth in this closing statement is that when you compare the firepower of Israel to Hamas, Hamas has 40,000 people at most and 30,000 rockets. Israel has 60,000 armored vehicles. That alone is more than the amount of personnel that there is. They have 600 aircraft, 2,200 tanks, 300 rocket artilleries. You can never say Israel and Hamas are in a fair war or an equal war. Gaza is a physical place in the world that you guys are trying to erase. Most of Gaza's people are still alive, still walking this earth. You failed. You guys failed to genocide us. You failed. But neither Gaza's existence as a place nor the survival of its people is a guarantee, because you still exist and you still have the goals of destroying us. Gaza and its people exist only as far as the Palestinian struggle exists. So this is what we are talking about. Gazan people's lives are at risk. 2 million people's lives are at risk.
I hear you, Ferry. I don't know. It's hard because I think honoring free speech is super important, even if we don't like the speech. I think if we just ignore it, it will go. It's a her. This is Holly. Holly has been, I guess, stalking me right now, and she likes to. She actually, she contacted me on Discord. I didn't know who she was. And then she had a chat with me, and then she started screaming and yelling curses at me. And I was like, oh. I'm like, is this like Helga Pataki from Hey Arnold, where they're like really, really nasty to you because they really like you? And it's like, oh, maybe that's what's going on here. But, there's a lot of cursing, and I got to see her too. I mean, she seems just like a nice, normal person. Like she lives in a normal place. And then all these horrible things come out, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Just words were like horrendous, and then I came to her show, and then she just kept cursing and yelling, and I'm like, maybe we need some therapy here, like an intervention might be needed. Ugh, like you need lots of prayers, honey. You need some prayers or some meditation, like life coaching. Whew, it was amazing. I didn't know who she was. It was this name. It said Sarah Quell, and I was like, I don't know. Is this someone that I know from like Modern Day Debate or something? I think that's where the affiliation was. So I was like, okay, cool. And then just lots of cursing, and I was like, wow, this is not the language that I use at all. So, oof, it was just wild. I think at some point I'll put some mods here, and then y'all can do it. I mean, if that's what you want to do. But I try to be free speech. I think it's important to allow Like if we cancel speech, then we become like the people who are like this, like fanatical stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Holly is a very interesting person. I was helping mom that day, and then, mom happened to hear the voice, and she was like, "What is going on there?" I was like, I guess I have like a fangirl. I don't know what to do. Uh, so what is it? Yeah, I know. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing. I know, this is what happens sometimes. Oh, boy. Men don't like you, so block a highway. I don't know what that means, but okay. Oof. Yeah, we're not gonna just have to. We'll get through it. We're gonna pay attention to the debate. That's what we're doing right now. Let's listen to Jvnior
This
talk.
is Gaza, bro. It's an area 365 kilometers squares. It's tiny. It's smaller than Manhattan. And if anybody wants to read a book to learn about the Greater Israel Project that these guys are trying to hide from you, Israel's real plan, read The Greater Israel by Dr. Assad Razzouk. You'll find the PDF.
Well, let's look up Dr. Assad Razzouk. I think this is important. We want to, actually do an engagement. Okay. Let's look at who Dr. Assad Razzouk is and why he is legitimate on this Greater Israel Project. I think this is super important. I think it's always important to fact check things because we need to know what's going on. Is this person a conspiracy theorist? Okay, so this is the article. Let's see. I'll share this tab instead. Who is this guy and why should we trust what he's saying? Okay. It's taking a long time to pop up. What is this thing? Why? And I think it's very important to know what's going on. So this says it's Palestine Books, Greater Israel Project, a study in Palestine Liberation Organization. So this is a PLO text from December 1970. Okay. It was in the government of Abu Dhabi. Is it peer reviewed? The chosen one. Let's look at what this book actually says. So here it is. Part 1, Herzl's Era. All the various elements which converge to form the Zionist movement from the time of its conception to the beginning of the period of its political activity are reflected in the personality of Theodor Herzl, the founder of modern Zionism. Wow, he was young. Only 44 years old. Zionism is an idea, a cause, and a movement find its roots in a number of Jewish sources, Jewish and non-Jewish, from the religious and salvatory motives springing out of both Messianism and utopianism. On the one hand, on the expansionist territorial ambitions and the disguised crusades on the other, Zionism plans to bring these two trends together and does not refrain from using to fulfill its aims in imperialism and harmony with countries within the great power spheres of influence. 6 months before his death, Herzl met Reuben Brenayan, a Hebraic writer, and revealed to him the origin of his Zionist thinking, telling him at about age 12 he read elsewhere in a German book about the Messiah King, whom the Jews still awaited. Okay. So he's talking about Herzl here. Solution for the Jewish question. I'm not really seeing what is the argument for the greater Israel thing here. There's a promised land. Okay. I mean, I guess we'd have to look at this whole book. Let's see about the conclusion, because we're not going to read the entire book. We don't have the time, and it's like several hundred pages. Let's see what the conclusion of the text is. Oh, it's 300 pages. That's really long. My dissertation is 200 pages, by the way, so. Yeah, I don't think that this is true at all. Oh, boy. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so these are notes. So here's a picture of the Palestinian thing and the frontier mandate. What is the conclusion of the text? So there's appendices. What is this? This is an appendices too. The occupied territories and liberated territories. Okay, there's got to be like. The Israelis did not wait for the Prime Minister Eshkol's call for a greater Israel 2 days after the June war. The students gathered before the Knesset building, repeating the slogan, "Do not return to the occupied territories." And when the government decided to return to the building, okay. The idea is inherent to Zionism, and the reference to the liberated territories reminds us for war for liberation and independence, which Israel invoked in 1948 to occupy Palestine. 20 years have elapsed since the establishment of smaller Israel. Greater Israel is the great challenge. No doubt our destiny has come to depend on the capability and determination to meet the Zionist challenge. Okay, so let's see if there's another review, because see, he just kind of brings it up because it says Greater Israel. I'm not sure if that's the argument. Let's see if we can get like AI to give us a little bit of an explanation here. Okay, let's share this tab here. So this makes it easier for us to kind of look at what they're saying. So in the 1970 Greater Israel, a study of Zionist expansionist thought, published by the Palestinian Liberation Organization, Dr. Assad Rassouk argues that territorial expansion has been foundational, continuous objective embedded with early and modern Zionist ideology. He says Theodor Herzl and Zionist thinkers take this, compiled using extensive primary texts and historical documents, study attempts to demonstrate the territorial growth and displacement, colonial framework. The text frames the Greater Israel. Let's say fact check it. So, evaluating the validity of the claims depends whether Greater Israel is defined as a literal multi-country expansionist blueprint or has an ideological preference for maximizing territorial sovereignty. Mainstream historians generally reject the notion that early Zionism possessed a secret master plan to conquer the entire Middle East, while concurrently acknowledging that territorial debates and shifting borders have historically central roles in Zionist politics. But shifting roles and boundaries are normal for many nation states. That's not shocking. Areas supporting claims of expansionism. Revisionist Zionism, ideologues like Ze'ev Jabotinsky openly rejected partition and demanded a Jewish state encompassing both sides of the Jordan River, modern-day Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan. Deliberately undefined borders. During the founding of Israel in 1948, David Ben-Gurion deliberately resisted defining fixed borders in the Declaration of Independence, arguing the borders are determined by historical outcomes, not declarations. Following the Six-Day War, the concept of Eretz Yisrael, Hashlema, the complete land of Israel, moved from the fringes of mainstream political discourse, driving the expansion of settlements in the West Bank and Gaza. Areas lacking factual support, the master plan myth. This is what I think. This is where it's lacking, because that's the idea that there's this master plan, and there's no evidence for that. So the other stuff, you can make claims about, like settlements and stuff like that, but the other claim, not so much. Okay, so we're going to go back to this because I think it's important to understand.
Search it up, Greater Israel PDF. This is not a war between equals. It's a nuclear-backed military superpower unleashing tanks, jets, drones, artillery on a besieged population that does not even control its own airspace or borders. Hamas has no army, no navy, no air force, just a small arms and homemade rockets. Yet Israel responds with overwhelming force designed to destroy entire neighborhoods, not just fighters. When one side has all the firepower and the other side has nowhere to run, the moral responsibility lies with the occupier, not with the occupied. This is the honest truth. This is what the IDF wears as patches. They wear the Greater Israel map, and they say one side controls everything, the other side cannot leave. Israel controls the land border, airspace, population registry, water, electricity, fuel. They control everything.
Okay, I think we need to look at that too. Oh boy. Whew. Let's fact check it and see if it's true. No, the Greater Israel Patch is not an official IDF insignia, though individual soldiers have been documented wearing them independently. Okay, so those are very separate things. He's making it seem like this is an IDF plan. It's not. So, yeah.
Yeah, Hamas is still resisting. This is the Greater Israel Project, guys. And this is who we are. Apis, he claims the Bible allows, us to be kicked out of our own land and to be murdered, and he uses Genesis 12:3. He supports people who say Jesus is not the true Messiah. As a Christian himself, he tries to justify the crimes that they commit, and the whole world watched them commit these crimes, by the way, and wants them.
This is wild. This is wild. Jvnior, he takes a very unfavorable picture of AP in like a mid sentence, and he puts himself with a very cool jacket and glasses. It's kind of wild what he's doing here, Instead of him having the picture with the monkey, that would be interesting. Exactly.
To be punished for it. But Apis disagrees. This is who we are. We sacrifice our lives. I'm a Palestinian. I sacrificed my life to fight for the truth after seeing the atrocities committed to my neighbors and committed upon my own family.
You live in Canada,
his
bro.
government committed. Your government of Israel that you're defending right now, I'm defending the government of Palestine. You're defending the government of Israel. Your government did these atrocities. The whole world saw your government do it. Hamas, they disbanded their government in 2017. They're ready to dissolve and leave right now and face trial. Are you ready to face trial? We follow the same God of Jesus, both of us, Apis, and we pray for Jesus to return, right? We say, may Jesus return. Our true Messiah is Jesus Christ. So don't try to tell me that you stand with Jews who literally believe that Jesus is in hell. We resist your tactics to manipulate and your lies. You lied to the audience today to avoid prosecution for the crimes you already committed. But we already saw them. It's too late. It's too late, man. You guys are done. It's over. I want to thank everybody who showed up to this debate. Look, this is a child that Israel would kill. This is a child that an IDF soldier would literally look upon his scope and shoot him in the bullet in the head for fun. An IDF soldier would look this kid in the eye and shoot him in the eye with a 50 caliber bullet and laugh about it and post about it on social media and call his wife and say, look, this is your wedding gift.
That literally never happened, by the way.
You guys are bombing buildings. We have x-rays, by the way, of our children with bullets in their skulls. Who put that bullet there? Are you going to blame Hamas too? Are you going to say Hamas used that child as a human shield?
We will jump into the Q&A. We have a lot of questions, so we do have to move fast. So if you guys can do me a favor and try to resist the rebuttals as much as possible, only when you really are like, oh, I just like a deep burning in my loins, I have to. That's the only time you can. Otherwise, we just have a ton of questions. So, folks, couple of things.
I have to say, I feel very sad for the AI children that are being killed. So I might get a little bit.
Oh, you think that picture is AI?
I might get a little bit too roused here. So
Oh,
I don't know if I can resist.
AP called
James,
that
but
exactly.
yeah.
Bro, the fact that you guys are saying that the picture is AI.
Dude, we're not arguing. We're not arguing. James is giving a disclaimer here. So
This is a good chance to
It's
jump into the
hilarious.
Q&A. Also, I've got to tell you, folks, if you didn't know, if you've been living in a cave on Mars with your fingers in your ears, DebateCon 7 is happening this month. We're just days away. It's January 12th. The event is on January 30th. Really fast. It's going to be huge. Jake, Muslim metaphysician. Right now, we're expecting it to sell for DebateCon 7. And like I said, we got a lot of them. So Bigly Drew says we were all praying for MXXXD. I hope he's okay as well. Soldier of Christ said, question for Junior. Why did you show the uncovered face of Miss Universe? Parentheses, it's haram. Question, we'll give you a chance. And then he's got a question for AP as well.
Well, according to Issa,
Yeah, Miss Palestine is definitely. I'm gonna agree with Junior. I agree with his assessment on Miss Palestine, so I'll leave it at that.
here, Palestine wasn't an Islamic country, and this is Miss Palestine, by the way. She's uncovered, and if you look at any myths of any other country, they're all uncovered because those are the rules that the Zionists put for these competitions. So you can thank them.
Wow, the Zionists made it so that the women are uncovered. That's so funny. I just find this situation wild. Yeah, it was. Oh, that's so funny. You are funny. Yeah, and of course the Zionists.
You got it. This one coming in. They also had a question for you, AP. In particular, they said, why did Allah make you appear on a different time zone? Okay. The Real in Television says, reminder, Israel is older than Hamas. Marilyn said, and just jump.
that is actually a very, very interesting point. So the other side here, they love to do this whole thing. Oh, this person, by the way, is older than the state of Israel. You know what? The state of Israel is actually older than any state of Palestine that was ever declared. The first time in history ever that there was a Palestinian state declared was in 1988. 1988, 40 years after the declaration of the modern state of Israel. So whenever people make this point like, oh, my grandma is older than the state of Israel. Okay, cool. So by that standard, we should also make fun of the state of Palestine because the state of Palestine is much younger.
You got it. Thank you very much for this question. Marilyn says, we are all God because of God. Kings and queens, everything should be free. This one from Big League Drew says, which world leader currently has an arrest warrant issued by the ICJ for crimes against humanity?
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Multiple. Who else? Who else?
Ismail
Can you answer who
Haniyeh.
else? Which other leader?
Mohammed Daif.
You can't because you don't care about anything else.
Who are you talking to right now?
Except when it's about Jews.
Who are you talking to? Who are you ordering around after you just got mopped in this debate?
So you don't have any idea at all about any other rulers being also investigated and being also under an arrest warrant, except Netanyahu.
I hate to do it, but just so we don't go too
Jews
far.
is the only thing we have
who you're trying to get us to say. I know who you're trying to
Why
get
are
us
you
to say.
defending Netanyahu? Why are you defending that?
But okay, forgive me, but just to do this. Ezra Gates says the IDF used to control my calories, and I gotta say I was in way better shape back then. They don't let you eat bacon. Now I eat it way too often. Big V Drew says, who are the Lahi, Irgun, and Haganah? Which of the three were deemed terrorist organizations?
So the Haganah was the general defense organization that was initially only created in response to Palestinian Arab terrorism. Irgun and Lehi were the later ones. Irgun was more about reaction and about retaliation. Lehi was the more extreme one that also carried out brutal terrorist attacks, and their numbers were about like 500 or something like that. But apparently that is equivalent to the Palestinian Arab terrorists, who were the majority.
You got it. This one coming in from. Do appreciate it. Soldier of Christ says, question for Junior. As per Dennis Prager, if number of casualties determine morality, then in that case, in WW2, more Germans were killed than Brits. Does that make Germans right? Similarly, this doesn't make Hamas right, even if they murder?
I mean, Hamas are murdering IDF soldiers. They're not murdering women and children and elderly people.
Dude, on October 7th, they literally indiscriminately killed everyone.
Don't cut me off.
Hamas themselves.
Israel activated the Hannibal Directive on October 7th and killed its own civilians. Islam,
we have it on video, man. We have it on video of Hamas going around shooting in homes and killing people. Who the hell are you gaslighting, man? You have Hamas going into residential homes and killing old people, man. We have seen it all.
Shooting IDF bases and camps. They're shooting IDF camps. If you
they went to kibbutzim, they went to residential homes and shot directly at homes. We have multiple videos.
They didn't kill children.
They published it directly.
They didn't kill the elderly. They took selfies with the elderly. The women kissed their heads. Did you not watch the hostage videos of the?
I watched every single video from October 7th. I watched every single video of October 7th, including of Hamas terrorists.
They
going
kissed their head.
Elderly people in their homes.
I hate to do it, but just we have a lot. Distracting Game says, if they are not Hamas, why are they helping Hamas? And why does Hamas use civilians as shields? That is a war crime that Hamas constantly commits.
Because Zionists bad. You really want to compare war crimes? Let's just go to court. Bring Israel to court, and we'll compare war crimes all you want. Hamas can be hung. They can do whatever you want to do to Hamas, we do it. But whatever we want to do to Israel, let us do it.
If Hamas can make them out of their tunnels, maybe that could work.
Hamas is not in the tunnels. Hamas is on the streets waiting for you to actually show up to the court, to the Hague, because that's where you're going to go.
Right.
Israel is going to be done by 2028. There's no more Israel. No more.
I will hold you to that. Good luck.
You're going to have to go to Zimbabwe. Go to South Africa.
Attitude. Good luck with that attitude.
Go to Patagonia where you
luck with that attitude.
So you can buy some burned land.
Good luck with that attitude.
I'm tired, bro. My family got murdered. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think.
You live in Canada, man.
Must go to the next one.
My family got murdered.
This one from Prophet XII says, Dur al-Islam. I don't know what that means. Distracting Game says, you say Israel violated every ceasefire, yet every ceasefire was first violated by the Muslims every time.
True. No, that's not true. That's not true. Because every single time a ceasefire is violated, who escalates first? Israel. So that's your proof right there that Israel is the one who escalates. After every single violation, Israel is the one who escalates. Israel is the one who escalates first. So when Israel says Hamas violated the ceasefire, they're lying. They're just looking for an excuse to escalate. Israel has been lying in the media for literally 77 years. They've been lying about Zionism. They told you that Zionism is embedded in Judaism when it's actually forbidden in the Torah to build a nation of God under murder. You're not allowed to murder a single soul as a Jew, yet this state murders children and women every day. Every day. They're murdering 4 busloads of children and women. Can you believe that?
This one coming in from, do appreciate your question. Big League Drew says, Issa, how would you feel if you didn't have breakfast today?
I didn't. I actually was on the plane, I was coming back actually from Jerusalem, funny enough. And I landed early this morning and came back.
You got $7,000, man. What's wrong with you?
Yes, bro, Issa, you got 7K, bro. You got 7K from Netanyahu. Good goy, bro. Good goy. Good.
I actually went. I went to Bethlehem too, so I went to different parts.
So
Even Julian is joking. And Julian's taking it seriously.
Apis went to Israel 3 months ago, and this guy just came back from Israel. Nice, very nice.
Loud and proud.
Wow. Yeah, I was trying to put the time out, but I don't know what happened. Yeah, sure you can. I'll give you the $7,000 that I did not receive at all. I actually had to pay money. I didn't receive money.
This one from K. Khans asked me to skip it. Jonathan Tessier says, Quran 5:20-21, Allah give the Holy Land to the Jews. Why are you going against the Quran, especially Allah? Isn't that shirk? Israel team. High five, they say.
God did not give the land to the Jews. Okay, the Jews are not chosen in any way for anything. There's literally a verse in the Quran that says, "O Jews, if you are chosen, then wish death upon yourself."
What a fantastic argument.
God literally tells Jews that they're not chosen for anything, and that they must accept Islam. That's what's written in the Quran. So don't try to tell me that
Here's
Jews
the funny thing. Here's the funny thing, Junior. You
I was quite sick. I was extremely sick. And I said, no matter what, I'm going to get through this debate. I could not. I was coughing the entire time. I had to mute a bunch of times. Even in my closer, it was really, really hard. But we made it through. Yes.
You try to appeal. You try to appeal to Christians and try to appeal to the name of Jesus.
Well, you know what's funny?
Jesus
if you go to Israel with that cross, they'll break it. They'll pick it up. They'll spit on your face.
Dude, I walked around all of Israel with this cross. I interviewed religious Jews. I went to the wall with this cross on my neck.
So I put our friend in timeout. I don't know if she got banned or not, but I did put her on timeout because I said this is not acceptable. So we're not stopping speech, but we have to have timeouts for that. Yeah.
I went to the wall with this cross on my neck. I interviewed them. Yes, I did. I will publish it.
Okay,
in fact, go live with me together and we will publish videos where I go to Jews with my cross and interview them and ask them what they think about Christianity
I will
and the
do
cross.
a live stream with you and show me.
And if they don't break it and if they act very nicely, you will say, hey, I apologize. These guys are actually not that.
Sure, I will apologize, but I'm sure that if you did that today, they will spit in your face.
I literally did it 3 months ago.
But what about the Christian quarter, though? What about the Christian quarter?
I dare you to tell a Jew that Jesus is God, and look how he reacts to you.
I did tell you.
Yeah, I'm not banning anyone, but I don't know if the program did it. I just was like, yeah, we have to do timeout. This is not okay. You're not harassing our friends here. So yeah, we don't like that.
Thank you in the balls.
What's up,
Dear
Issa?
Jews? Dear Jews.
I do have a question. Just like I'm curious, they have the Garden Tomb, they have the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. There's a lot of churches in Jerusalem, and there's a whole Christian quarter. Like, how would you engage that particular space? There's a Muslim quarter, there's a Christian quarter, there's a Druze quarter.
We're all supposed to coexist. At the end of the day, we're all human beings born with different beliefs. I was born with Muslim.
Did you get the question that he just asked you?
Let me finish, bro. I was born with the Muslim Palestinian identity. Okay, so when there's Christian quarters, there's Muslim quarters, there's Jewish quarters. Those have to.
I always try to allow voices though to speak. I think it's important for me. It's important for us, but you all don't need to suffer yourselves either, though. That's not fair to you.
Be respected. And that's what Jerusalem was made for. When Muslims ruled over Jerusalem, they let all religions worship peacefully. Muslims protected churches and synagogues.
That is false.
No, it's not false. This is true. Under the Ottoman Empire, even, they were protected, and there was many treaties between the Jews and Christians, and Muslims, and that was violated. Everything was destroyed by Israel. The moment Israel was established as a state, Jewish supremacy came into the land, and every non-Jew could not be a citizen. You even told me if I went to Israel, they wouldn't let me leave.
Are you kidding me, man?
They wouldn't let
20%
me
of the
leave.
20% of the citizens of Israel are Arabs, Muslims. and
They're not
Christians.
citizens. They're permanent residents.
They're citizens, man. What are you
They
talking about?
they don't have passports, bro. They can't
They
travel.
have passports. They are
They
citizens.
can't
What are you
travel,
talking
bro.
about?
They can't travel.
Israeli Arabs are Israeli citizens. What are you talking about?
They're Jews, bro. They're not Muslims or Christians.
We'll go to the next one.
All
Thank you
right,
very
so
much.
I just want to ask one question here. Just one simple question. Junior, throughout the Muslim history, were Christians and Jews allowed to go on the Temple Mount and to pray there?
Throughout whose history?
Muslim history, under Muslim rule.
Jews and Christians?
Yes, were they allowed to go on the Temple Mount and to pray there?
What temple? There was no Temple Mount to begin with. The ashes, the ruins of the temple.
Oh my God. On
What
the Temple
Temple
Mount compound, around the Golden Dome
That's
and the
not a
Al-Aqsa.
Temple Mount. That's
and
an
the-
Aqsa compound.
Okay, yes.
If you refer to it by the correct name, I'll answer you.
Okay,
It's gaslighting, dude. That's not okay, man.
okay. Al-Aqsa compound. Were Jews and Christians allowed to go there and pray there under Muslim rule?
Why would you want to pray to a different god in a mosque?
Can you just answer my question? Were
You could
Christians
visit
and
it.
Jews allowed
You
to
could visit it
go there and pray there?
I feel you.
in congregation, in mass.
All right, thank you. So okay, they weren't allowed.
What-
Thank you.
You want Christians and Jews to go and pray in congregation and mass
My
in a
gosh.
mosque? Why
thank
don't
you.
you try? Why
Thank
don't you
you.
try and build a church
Thank
in
you.
Mecca?
So
Why don't-
he just claimed
That's
that
like-
Muslims
that's
were
like
very
saying-
just.
That's
He
like
claims-
saying,
He
can
claims
Muslims
Muslims
go
were very
pray?
just to Christians and Jews, but he just doesn't want to
Wait,
answer
wait.
the
Let
question,
me
which
tell
is
you.
very clear that
Let me
under
tell you,
Muslim
it's a
rule
stupid
for
question.
centuries, for 1,000 years,
It's a stupid
Jews and
question.
Christians were not allowed to go on the Temple Mount and to pray there.
It's the third holiest site in Islam. You want to go and pray as a Christian or a Jewish person in a holy site of Islam? Can you do
Yes.
that in Mecca? You can't do that in
You
Medina.
can't.
We must
Because
go to the
Exactly.
next
Islam,
one.
because
Can
Islam
we,
is supremacist.
can we pray Eid prayer in Vatican? Can we
Because
come
Islam
millions
is
and millions?
supremacist.
No, Christianity is also supremacist by your own logic because Muslims can't come in the millions and pray in Vatican.
Thank
So
you. You already answered the question. Thank you.
Don't
You know they have a
you
huge
answer
Eid
your
in
own
Jerusalem,
question.
right? Like the Muslim community has a big giant Eid in Jerusalem, right?
You have to understand Jerusalem belongs to Muslims. We're gonna take it back. Whether
Good luck with that, man.
you let
Good luck
us
with
or
that.
you don't. Thank you for the good luck. I don't need your good luck wishes because you
You
worship a false
You
god.
live in Canada, man.
No,
It's
you
not about
worship
you.
a false god. Bro,
This-
me living in the United States.
Jesus is God, and you don't
Okay,
respect
tell
him,
the
so don't
Jews
talk
that.
about him.
Tell the
Let's go
Jews.
to the
Dear
next
Jews,
one.
Jesus is God.
This one from
See, this is the guy. Jews, listen. Muslims, they worship the same God as you. This guy, he worships some guy.
That's true.
Some
this
dude,
one, we
some
must
Jewish
go to the
guy.
next one. Big League Drew says, "What is the
So
Bal?"
up to you, decide.
Said, "What is the Balfour Declaration? Who was involved? Why was the declaration even made? Was Palestine the first choice?"
So it was a declaration of support for the establishment of the Jewish homeland in what was at that point mandatory Palestine, which was held by the British Empire after they took it from the Ottoman Empire, which held it as imperial land, but where, by the way, they had no respect at all for any Arab autonomy. They really treated the Arabs like dirt.
True.
The British Empire took it over and appealed to the nation, to the predecessor of the United Nations, to establish a homeland for Jews, which was then granted. And at that time, from the 1920s to 1948, Palestine was the name for the British mandate there, and Palestinian was basically synonymous with Jews living there. That's basically what it was about.
This one coming in from, do appreciate it. Big League Drew says, "Who is
Oh man, this is cute. He said the man, the legend. Issa.
Amalek and Esau?"
So the Amalekites, that's what they're talking
Can
about.
I answer that? Can I? Because I get called Amalek all the time by Netanyahu and Ben Gvir and maybe Apis behind closed doors. He considers us Amalek who deserve to be.
I would say
can do-
Hamas is
like, I
definitely
just want to.
Amalek, yeah.
Issa hasn't gotten to say a lot, so if you want to do a pithy response to this, you can. I'll give you
Look,
a pithy
Amalek,
response.
Amalek in the Bible, it says to kill them, kill their children, kill their women, kill their ox, kill their sheep. So go ahead, Issa. Tell me who Amalek is.
So according to the narrative, it's sort of like the Philistines. These were kind of antagonists of the Israelites who worship many gods and stuff like that. So kind of the theme that you see throughout the Tanakh is this focus on monotheism and there's a conflict with those who are worshiping many deities. So the Amalekites were these kind of enemies of the Israelites. So that is a situation that happened. But you can look in Islam and you can see that there were great battles with, the Quraysh, where the Prophet of Islam battled against the Quraysh, and many of the polytheists within the Quraysh, perished as well. So that's not something that's foreign.
But he forgave all of them. He forgave Quraysh, and they all converted to Islam.
It's complex. Not exactly. If the Quraysh didn't embrace Islam, they were perished. And I think this is the problem. Like, he doesn't like the Jewish axiom, but the Islamic axiom comes out of the Jewish axiom. And this is the problem, that he doesn't understand that Islam is from Judaism. It's not, he can't divorce Judaism from Islam, no matter how hard he tries. And I think it's really weird when Muslims try to divorce Judaism out of Islam. If you don't like these Middle Eastern politics, then you can't like Islamic. He's just like, oh, they just forgave them. And I'm like, not if they didn't embrace Islam. If they kept believing in indigenous religions, they had to flee, or they had to perish, because indigenous religions did not survive. Only Jews and Christians were able to endure this in the region. If you were a part of the indigenous Arab religion, not so.
Well, it's not a fair comparison.
I mean, if you look at the battles, a lot of people, there was quite considerable casualties. You're talking about the end, but I'm talking about while there was conflict.
At the end, they all converted to Islam. Amalek never converted to Judaism, so there's no comparison there.
Well, in the Torah, there's a command that God commands. I mean, the issue is that the Torah is a part of the Islamic corpus anyway. So,
oh shoot! I bring in the Islamic dilemma, where I'm like, you don't like what the Torah says? That's a part of Islam too. I was like, you want to go there? I'm like, well, the Torah is a part of Islam, so Yeah, that was smart. This is where
it wouldn't even matter. This is a part of Islamic literature. The Torah, the Zabur, and the Injil are a part of it. So these things are this is a part of Islam anyway.
I don't know. It's not. The Torah in its current form
yes,
is not.
It is. Yes, it is.
I mean, classical scholars would disagree with that, but I would say after Ibn Hazm in the 11th century, that's a whole other conversation, though.
The Torah in its current form is corrupt.
It's the Islamic dilemma. It doesn't matter. You don't get to say it's corrupt. You don't get to play that game. Yeah, the Amalekites would have been wiped out too. If the Amalekites were under the Islamic rule, they would have wiped out the Amalekites, because the Amalekites would be called mushrikun. So, yeah. They would have perished as well, according to what he believes Islam to be. There are different kinds of narratives of Islamic history, like a more spiritual narrative, but if you're going to take a literal historical narrative, you don't get to escape this situation. So
the Bible in its current form in its entirety, which the Torah is a part of, is actually corrupted. So when you choose to classify the Torah as part of the Bible, I consider everything to be corrupted. The Quran is the only thing that's preserved and unchanged.
Dear Jews and Christians, he says that your scriptures are all corrupted and you all worship falsehood. Just so you know.
No, I'm saying accept Islam. Accept Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as the final messenger, and you're good. You're good. You don't have to do anything.
We can live your life.
We can discuss that another time. Aisha never said she's a victim of pedophilia. And pedophilia requires an accuser, an abuser, and a.
But Aisha doesn't have to do with this point. The point is that the Torah, the Zabur, and the Injil are affirmed by the Quran. I couldn't help it, because I'm like, it doesn't matter. The Torah, the Zabur, and the Injil are affirmed by the Quran. So,
The victim. Who is the victim in this situation?
You have a prophet who was 53 years old when he married a 6-year-old girl and had sex with her.
Where is this mentioned? Where is this mentioned?
It's mentioned in the most authoritative sources of Islam, in Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and all the other sources.
So now you take hadiths. Now you take hadiths that's fact.
So you keep moving the goalpost. But Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl.
What about the hadiths that say that you worship?
9 years.
What about the hadiths that say you're going to hell? Do you believe those two?
I hate to do this, but I have to go to the next one just because we have a lot of questions.
Why do you believe some hadiths are not
the other? A lot of questions. This one,
because if you tell me that you murdered someone, I will believe you. If you also tell me that you can fly, I will not believe you. It's that easy.
Big League Drew says, what is the star of Remphan? Amos 5:26, Acts 7:43.
Was that
Anybody
question
know
for
the star of Remphan?
It is
The star
a
of the devil.
it is a reference that some people ignorantly want to make about the Star of David today, which makes no sense and has no relevance at all. The Star of David was a symbol that is not a fundamentally Jewish symbol, that was at some point used by Christians, at some point used prominently by Muslims actually throughout history, and was in later times used by Jews. Has nothing to do with the Star of David.
This one
Completely
coming in
different issue.
from Brian Wolf 1 says, America first. Big League Drew says, is Jacob someone who should be revered? How much is a bowl of soup worth?
$2.
This one
Sorry,
from
I was gonna
Dark
say one thing.
Ginger
He's talking about
33 says, go ahead if you want to respond. I don't want to cut
I
you
want
off.
to respond to the previous one. So it's talking about the birthright. That's what it's kind of like he's putting a jab to that. So the birthright is that Esav or Esau sells his birthright to Yaakov or Jacob for like lentils and a bowl of soup. You know, that's the idea.
It's a bowl
and,
of soup
and
and
some bread. That's the kind of
You
jab.
sold
that
what? He sold for $2 soup bowl.
a bowl of soup and lentils and some bread. That's the idea, because it's a whole narrative. We don't have enough time to go into it, but like there's this whole thing about, you know, you see this motif and theme of younger children getting the birthright. Like, for example, Isaac or Ishak or Yitzhak gets the birthright over Yishmael in, you know, the first, and then you see Yaakov or Yakub getting the birthright over Esav. So there's a lot there, but we don't have time to go into all the theology.
I'll give you 6 shekels for the bowl of soup. How about
Oh my God, Junior is
that?
silly. He's so silly.
This one from
6 or 7.
Dark Ginger 33 says, the
Six,
Quran says
seven.
Israel belongs to the Jews and that the Jews have the right to unalive anyone causing mischief in Israel. Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:20 through 21.
So I have to be very fair here. My counter argument to that issue would be that that within the greater narrative of the Quran, it basically indicates and implies that Allah did initially give the land to the Jews, but that Jews would then cause mischief in the land, and the land would then no longer belong to them, or would be taken away to them. It doesn't explicitly say that, but that is basically what is being indicated. So I wouldn't agree with those who use the Quran to argue that the land belongs to the Jews. But then again, I would also not give the Quran any authority on anything at all.
So why do you talk about the Quran?
He's so wrong.
How does it serve you to talk about the Quran if you don't believe in it?
I talk about the Quran to point out what a disgusting book it is and how it is a.
Why don't you just eat it like your best friend David Peddle would?
Oh my
I
God.
could.
You go
This
ahead,
one
eat it.
from, do appreciate
go.
your question.
There you go. This is exactly, he had it ready too. You know,
Dark
he knows.
Ginger 33.
Every time he goes on stream, he has that Quran.
Don't
thing.
provoke me, man.
They said, our Emperor Fat Ass Dog says Steven Seagal is the greatest martial artist of all time. Thank you for that. Soldier of Christ says, Junior, do you condone the failed rapper Malik doxing David Wood and God Logic's family for simply repeating what he said about quote unquote Warner wanting to receive Illuminati like your prophet from Zutz?
Look, I think David Wood's end is going to come soon. And I'm not saying this because I condone it. I think because the actions that he's done against the Muslim community is so scary. Scary that I would.
I'm sorry, but that just
I feel
it does sound. You have to, Junior. I don't know. I don't know if you realize. Junior,
You can rip the Quran.
You will never catch a Muslim burning the Holy Bible, by the way.
We'll never.
You guys are so. Gosh, how is this? You guys just. You're still not understanding. You can't say that you think someone's going to come to an end soon when you despise that person. It sounds like you're insinuating that they're going to get murdered. Like you. So
that's
I know
that's what the extremist Muslim community does. Like, we have to admit that we're not like the Christians, bro. If someone insults our prophet and we have an extremist,
Oh God. We're going to stop soon anyway. If you want to stick around for a little bit longer, we're going to probably come to an end of this. We're going to do another session because I'm getting tired too. It's really late. It's really early for me. Probably do like 5 more minutes. but he just admitted to something really bad. He basically said, and I'm like, dude, this is so embarrassing for the Muslim community, but he basically was saying, yeah, you Christians are liberal and open-minded and accepting, and you can take criticism. Our community cannot take criticism. I'm like, that's not a good admission, bro.
In our group, we can't take
but I think
accountability
that
for that person.
what I'm saying is,
But
I
we
think
know what
they're
he's
gonna
going to do, and we're going to warn you.
I
We're going
think
to tell
that-
you that person's coming.
Dear gosh, Junior, you are just. What I'm saying
I'm sure you think that that's
is-
wrong, though, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, Junior, they're gonna think that you're
It is
saying like,
wrong.
yeah, you're gonna get murdered
Because you're
soon.
terrorists, man.
No, it's wrong. I'm warning him.
Oh,
Right.
they're
I care.
terrorists. Okay, be
It's
quiet.
good to
I care for
clarify that.
I care for human life, so I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I'm warning
what
you.
I'm
David
like,
Wood,
I'm
get
saying,
some security, bro.
Gosh. I'm saying that yes, you should state that up front. That like I'm not for it, but there's probably going to be someone that's going to try to murder him. Like otherwise, it could sound as if you're saying you're like, yeah, he might be offed soon. Like yeah, but we get it.
What do
So-
you expect? What do you expect when you go online and publish yourself to millions of Muslims and say you mock
I'm
their
just
religion?
gonna move on because you just
like the
But
Muslims
Soldier
are
of
you
going
Christ.
realize that a lot of Muslims mock these other traditions. Like, for example, if you take the position, you say, well, your New Testament and your scriptures are corrupted. That's like a really nasty thing to say to someone,
Yeah,
even
but
though
dude,
you may
I'm
believe
not-
that. You
I'm
know
not
what I mean?
saying this. I'm not saying this from opinion. I'm saying this from fact. Go search up what happened to Salwan Momika,
Well,
bro, in Sweden.
I think that the Quran is a book of
He was a good
it's full
friend.
of shit, and I say this as a fact.
Apis, wasn't he a good friend of yours? Why didn't you go to his funeral? Why did you let him get cremated, bro?
He wasn't a good friend of mine. I was a friend of his on a very small scale. But maybe we can have some mutual ground here. So if somebody actually did come and out of revenge because David, desecrates the Quran, if somebody actually did come and kill David as a result of that, would you consider that evil?
Absolutely.
Good, thank you.
Absolutely. I would
Thank you.
wholeheartedly condemn that because Islam
Thank you.
doesn't call us to that.
Thank you.
Islam doesn't
I
call us
appreciate
to
that.
go and kill people who mock the religion.
Also,
says-
me, I condemn that action.
It
Thank
says just wait until Judgment Day and see what God does to them, and then you'll laugh. Because I can't laugh.
I genuinely think that was a very good thing to do. So I genuinely think
I'm serious, bro. If anybody comes and tries to hurt you for what you do, or David Wood or anyone, I would actually try to defend you, and I would condemn it. I would say no, it's not worth them sending themselves to hell over you, because you're not worth that much. Like it's not worth it.
Thank you. I would argue that Islam
No,
actually
he said something good and then he said something bad. Like he's like, I don't, it's not worth it to send. It's like this is not a good thing. It's not right. But then you're worth so little that you shouldn't do this. I'm like, not good, man. Not good.
does not condemn them, but the fact that you condemn them is very good. So
Islam does condemn killing an innocent soul that is not coming to kill you or kick you out of your house or put harm upon you. If you insult the Prophet and wage war on us and want to kill our women and children and come to kill us, then expect to be buried 6 feet under the dirt. But I'm not going to come and kill someone because he ripped the Quran. The Quran's just a book, bro.
Wait, so if I insult Muhammad, would that warrant the killing of him?
I'm not going to come and kill you if you insult my Prophet.
But
no.
if somebody else does it, would you think that is absolutely wrong and evil?
100%.
Fantastic, thank you.
Because you know what you do when you insult our Prophet? You're just giving him more good deeds. You know what you do when you burn the Quran? You're just waging war on God. You're not waging war on Muslims.
We'll go to the next one. I'm
up
sorry,
to
guys.
us,
We can't take 5 minutes for every question. We really do have to keep it moving. This one from K Khan's Bigly Drew says, what is the Yin-Nan plan? What is Greater Israel?
So Greater Israel is actually just, it is usually exaggerated and amplified by conspiracy theorists that there is a plan to take over the entire Middle East and all that. There is only one official Greater Israel plan, which is that that the entirety of the land of Israel that was actually given or decided to be part of Israel in the 1920s should become part of Israel at some point, and that is a relatively small territory which Israel is mostly in control of today. There is a revisionist Greater Israel idea which would also include Jordan, but most Israelis and Zionists are not on board with that. Neither is the state of Israel. And then there is an extreme Greater Israel project, which is often touted as this supposed goal that Israel is after, which would be like borders from Egypt way over to Saudi Arabia and to Iran. I have never met or heard of a single Israeli who actually supports that ridiculous idea.
Look, Greater Israel is a political vision promoted by certain Zionist extremists who believe Israel should expand beyond what international law allows.
Okay, I already explained this.
So Junior,
I do want to. I'll give you a chance, Issa, but just to keep as many rebuttals as seldom as possible. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to try to be very quick on this, but I think it's really important. Because I think we need to be symmetric. I think this is a really important thing in these conversations. If we're accusing Israel of doing this, what about like extremists like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Boko Haram, Daesh, all of these different organizations, and some might include Hamas within this, whose goal is a greater Oh no. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit more and then we're going to. It's super weird. I don't know what just happened. I have to tether to my my hotspot. Don't like that very much. It's not good to have unreliable internet.
It's not just Haifa.
I'm going to do Wi-Fi pals. Majority of Hamas members are from Haifa. So Haifa is in occupation. Islam doesn't. It says to
I
anyone, them said Islam will kick you out of your and want to kill our women and
Muhammad
prophet. But because you know what you do when you insult our prophet, you're just giving him warn.
We have to keep on plan.
There's a given or decide at some point, and that is a Greater Israel idea on board with that. Neither is touted as this over to Saudi Arabia and to Iran. I have never met or heard of a single Israeli who actually supports that ridiculous idea.
Look, Greater Israel is a political vision promoted by international law.
That's Issa, but just to keep as many rebuttals as seldom as possible. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to try to be very quick on this, but I think it's really important. Because I think we need to be symmetric. I think this is a really important thing in these conversations. If we're accusing Israel of doing this, what about like extremists like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Boko Haram, Daesh, all of these different organizations, and some might include Hamas within this, whose goal is a greater caliphate project? How do you counter that? Is it wrong if Israel seeks a greater project if Hamas is seeking a greater project as well?
But Hamas is not seeking a greater project.
I mean, it kind of is. It's seeking the same thing. What about the caliphate, this type of situation of wanting all these nations to be under a particular kind of rule? It's hard to just say that it will stop with, what would be considered Palestine. What happens to West Bank? What happens to their rivals, the PA? Will they wipe out the PA? I mean, this is how many women have? Oh, that's silly. You're funny.
Hamas
because they want all of Israel.
Hamas wants their homes back. If Israel is their home, they want it back.
It was never theirs, man. What do they want back? It was never
You know,
theirs.
you realize that the majority of Hamas members are from Haifa. So Haifa is in occupied Palestine. You call it Israel, we call it occupied Palestine. They want their homes back. They're going to do
Okay.
whatever they can to get their homes
Okay.
back, no
It's
matter
not just,
what.
It's not
you
just
say.
Haifa. It's not just Haifa. They want all of Israel for themselves. It was
Look,
never theirs.
There are multiple resistance groups that have been expelled from their cities and pushed to Gaza, yes, but Hamas mainly come from Haifa. You know, they come from all the neighboring areas, and you have to understand that majority of Israel has renamed Palestinian cities to avoid this problem of people wanting to come back to their city. That's why cities are being renamed in Israel. So the association of Palestinians with their old cities can be destroyed. But guess what? Muslims like me are looking at you guys as a joke. We're like, yo,
okay. I just,
Okay, but you're avoiding the question.
I just have to.
go ahead.
We have to go to the next one. This one, Big League Drew says, "What is the year?" We got. They said, "What does it mean?"
All right, I think we're going to stop there. Oh boy, whew, it's exhausting. Yeah, it's insane. It's just a ridiculous position. We're going to stop at 2:15 mark. That was a doozy. We got a lot covered. We have only 1 hour and 16 minutes and 15 seconds left. So, yeah, it's definitely a mixture of stuff. I don't know. I think that these weird attacks are super strange. But we're going to do another stream today. I'm glad to have Robin on board. Robin, are you a part of my Discord? You should join my Discord. I have a Discord chat too. And I have a special little tag if you want to get a tag from that. Yeah, that's our Discord right there. Yeah, I know. It's super weird. Let me copy this. Thank you all. Appreciate you. There is the link. I'll send it to you if you don't get it here too. But we're going to stop right now. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.